Morning, Jules here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So this is another one of the series Crafting on a Budget. So what we're going to do today was we're going to play with some stamps, some aqua markers. These I got from a shop called B&M here in the UK. I would say it's a cheapy shop. And these were, I think, £6 for a set, and you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 markers in each set, and they come in sort of like groups of greens, blues, oranges, pinks, reds, purples and stuff like that. So eventually I bought the lot, and they come with a brush tip and a fine tip, so we're going to try stamping with them. These are just a cheap watercolour palette paint set. They're sparkly, and I bought these when the twinkling H2Os came out, and they were really expensive because they were about, I think they were about £10 for a set of 6 tiny little jars, and they are good. I've got them, but I bought these because I was running a craft club at the time and not everybody could afford them, and these I think were £1, and I got them from the Works, and it's kind of an arty craft book shop here in the UK, and it was just so that everybody could, you know, play with these sparkly paints. I've also got some pastels, some oil, I think they're oils, yeah. I've never tried these on stamps, so this is a new one for me. And these are sort of like the metallic pastels, so we will play with them. I've got sort of like a mixture of stamps. Try that one. Some of them are Crafter's Companion. These aren't. This one is, but these aren't. And I got these, I think, on eBay. They've got stamp mount on the back. These I picked up the other day in Hobbycraft, and I thought they were inexpensive. But there's a butterfly, a bee, a ladybird, and a little dragonfly. And these are the ones that just, that's an Eater's stamp, that one's a Do Crafts, that one's a Hero Arts, that one's an Eater's, that one's Heritage. I used this one, as you can see it's coloured. I used this one a lot when I was doing wedding stationery. And this one is a Whispers, and this one is a, not quite sure, it's a pine tree, a pine branch. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll do with the aqua markers, and it's a long time since I've done this, so you'll need to be a little bit patient with me. And these are just when I did wedding stationery, I bought lots of card and that's just hammered card, but we're going to use the other side. So we'll try this pine one, and what I'll do is I'll go for a sap green. I'm using the brush side, and I'm just scribbling on it. And we'll use a bit of brown. There's some wording on it. I don't know how that will come out because it's meant to look like a little stamp. And I am mixing them a bit. And one of the things I did, we'll put a little bit of brown in this as well. When I used to do this, one of the best things to do is when you've got your marker on is just puff on it a bit with your breath. Now I've been using my heat gun on my desk, so I've warped my little backing sheet a bit, so I'm not quite sure how that will come out there yet. So now I know, because that says carte postale, so that's quite nice. We'll take that one off. We'll do the balloons. Now that, oh dearie me, hang on, let me get her. And I am going to get my balloons all in them. My stamp's in a mess, but hey ho. I'll need some. Get my paints in a mess as well. Purple one. And a blue one. The one thing with watercolour paints is it washes off, so you're fine. And I might not have done it, we'll do these are brownie, well, it's a mixture of a bit of everything. That's not sticking on that, so what I'm going to do is, I'm huffing on it. And there you are. And that's puddled a bit, but it's fine because it will dry. So I will try again with the paint. And I'm just splashing it on. There you are. It's a bit puddled, but it's okay. One thing about watercolours, if you put water in them first and get them all nice and creamy, sort of like a creamy consistency, they do dry up quick. Now that looks a bit messy to me, so I'm just going to try it on there first. And it might be upside down. Yeah, so paint, unless it's quite thick, is no good for wording, because it is a bit, you can see these boots were made for walking. Pen, I wouldn't try your alcohol pens because they dry up too quick. There you are. Now that's nice. Cool shadow. And I'm just running the brush along the edge of the brush, not the point, because if you do the point you'll end up splaying it. So there you are. And you can get a secondary stamp as well. Very good. And again, I'm just rubbing it along. And I think it says you can never have enough shoes, or a girl can never have enough shoes, which is probably true. Yeah, a girl can never have too many shoes, that's it. I've got another stamp somewhere that says new shoes cure the blues. So you get 2 stamps from these, which is quite good. And the one thing when you're using pens instead of ink, you can sort of like choose what part of the stamp you want to use. Right, so we'll use Tiger Lily with some kind of no, I thought they had some kind of layer on that was stopping. There we are. So yeah, it's picked it up. Don't know whether you can see. I know if I go too near the camera, it sort of like flashes different colour. It's sort of like the light. I forgot to huff on it, but it still worked. And that's I quite like that. So if you keep puffing on it, so you get the first one, the second one and the third one, and they look quite nice for backgrounds. We'll put that to one side. We'll do the little ladybird. I'm looking for a scarlet. The only thing is I don't have a black in these pens. So what we'll do is we'll go with the darkest one I've got it's called a green grey, but we'll see. There you are. So if you keep going, yeah, so these pens are quite good. I'm not selling the pens. I'm not affiliated to B&M's whatsoever, but I thought they were quite good. They're quite cheap. Here, and when you've got the stamping pad on the back, it just gives you that little bit of leeway. There you are. So you can do all your different shoes. The tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this one with paint. It probably, I know when I've inked it in black it just looks a bit too much, so I've always done sort of like in pens, and then we'll go down. A darker blue. we'll go to a green. I'm painting the edge of the stamp as well, the tag part. I'm going to go over the birdies with a bit of brown. I think meant to be crows. Well, it's a bit browny blue there. And we'll try a bit pink here. And a bit of red. Over the green. Yeah, and it might seem to you it might be like a mess on, but sometimes it's nice to play. Oh, not very good. But what I'll do is I'll put that to one side there. Just drying it off a bit. We'll go in with the aqua markers. And I'm just going around the edge of the tag. And I think we'll use the green. This is one of the brown colours. I mean, if you wanted to practice, you'd just get a cheap set of brush markers. You don't have to have water ones. And I'm going to go for ice blue. For the music notes. And where the birdies are. And do this in a what's called an ice blue. And oh, what's that one? Let's try this one, the brush marker. This is like an orangey brown. So I mean, I'm taking my time colouring this in. I'm just going to go around the edge of the stamp. I have got a bit of the black, the green grey on it, so it is going to be a bit multicoloured, but never mind. We'll go for peacock blue, or yeah. Now I can see there, that's like it's a fern, and So I'm going to go back over that with green. Just over the leaves. And we'll go over these. This is quite a detailed stamp, so it does take time to go over it, but what I'm wanting to do is wanting to let you know that you can do the detailed stamps. It will work. I'll have a bit of green down there. And then we'll get another bit of card, and what I'm going to do is huff on it, so you just breathe on it and press it down. And because they're aqua markers, they won't stain your stamps, it will wash off. And there we are. That actually looks better than what it does when I do it with the with black ink and then try and colour it in. So if you have any of these, you know, really detailed stamps, I'm quite pleased with that. That's come out quite nice. I just need to get the paint out of it. So what else have we got? Right, the thistle. We'll do the thistle, so we'll use a bit of a peacock blue. I'm just shoving these back. We'll use a bit of that. I want a nice green. I think we'll use a bit of that, and we'll have a bit of, right, well, we'll try these first. So I'm doing the top bit blue, and then I'm going to do this one. This is like the mauve. I am going to do a bit into the that's the wrong side. And these markers I've had for a long time. They still do them in B&Ms, but I've probably had them for about 4 or 5 years. Don't use them regularly. Don't use them every day. I probably use them about once a week, once a fortnight. We'll put a bit of green. And you get the little boxes to put them in, like the little tray. They come in the tray, so the tray, they all fit on each other, which is quite nice. So I'm going to go for this because I want a bit of different green. And I've just got this. I'm going to put some purple grey, whatever purple grey is. Just mix that, put some on the ends. Like that. And then huff on it. We'll do that one. And there we are. So that's, I did the blue first, so you can see the blue has started to dry up, but it's quite a nice impression. You can see it, it's quite clear. So if we do a bit more, do it all in the blue, and it's still got some of the colour on from the last one. If you wanted to do yourself a contemporary stamp and not colour it in with all the different colours. Missed a bit there. And there. And then we'll stamp that on. And there we are. So it's still got a bit of the green and a bit of the purple. So the pens are quite good for doing your stamps. Now what we'll do is we'll go for, this has got script on it. It's a legible script. You can't really make out what it's saying. But what we'll do is we'll now I'm just doing this. This is in the green grey, number 9. And I'm just lightly going over it. Probably not catching it all, but again, this is another one I used to use in wedding stationery. I think what we'll do is we'll do a vermilion in the red. Just give it a bit of a red tinge to it. Probably won't show up as much because it's, and again I'm just huffing on it. And these are just sort of like swirls that are coming down. There might even be feathers, so I mean you could do them in a different colour if you wanted, but there you are. So the red, you can just, I don't think it'll pick up on the camera. And what I'll do is I'll huff on it again, see if we can get a second. It just seems to reactivate it when you huff on it. So it's picked up quite the detail there. So you've got like a faded one. So I hope you get something out of that. I didn't do all the stamps. So we started off with the, and that was quite a detailed one, and that was using different colours. And then we did the paints with the balloons, we did the paint with the bee, and he's dried now, so he's quite cute. Then we did the wording stamp. So if you wanted to make yourself some you know, sort of like on book page and stuff like that, just little bits for putting in your ephemera in your journals. Then we did the butterfly, the ladybird and the dragonfly. Then we did the shoes, the boots, and that one. And that one was done with paints. And it, I mean, you can see it says Skyland, that says hotel. I can see that says post. But there, if I put them like that. So one's done with paints, one's done with the pens. And it looks, you know, it looks okay. And then we've got the thistles. So we did all the different colours. And then this one, which I just went over with and left the remainder of the ink on there. And then that one I just did with the green grey. It's quite nice, and I was saying it's illegible, but I can see for beautiful you're something. I can pick out the words. So yeah, so I hope you get something out of that, and you can go and practice all you like with your paint markers and things, paint pens. I mean, you can use cheap felt tips. I think the watercolors they stay wet a little bit longer, but the cheapo felt pens, you know, as long as you're not sort of like just practice first, and any paints will do. Any, you know, you can go into the sort of like the kids section and get some. You don't have to have pearlized paints, and just play about. And then if you wanted to, you could always get your, you know, your water and bring these in. And the same with the aqua markers, you know, you can sort of like go over them with water. I can't because I've got paint on my brush, and I don't have, no, I think that one's got bleach in it, so I did, yeah, that one. Yeah, I think that's got bleach in it. I know I've got bleach in one, this one hasn't, but there. So if I just, these are just wet brushes. No, that's already got paint on it. There, so we'll do the thistle. And I'm just putting a tiny bit of water on it. And then into the green. And then that gives it like a watercolour effect. So if you like the watercolour effect, that's a cheats way to do it. Just use water markers on your stamps, and then just take a little brush and just dab into it. And the same with that one. So yeah, so you can do that. You can, I mean, you can sort of like take the, you know, if you wanted this coloured in, You can do that. You can certainly do it with your, when you've used the paint. Although once the paint's dry, it does take a little while just to reactivate it again. There. And the same with this. You can just, if you just do it lightly, and then it doesn't take away the details. If you, obviously if you put loads of water on it, it will take away some of the details. Same with the little butterflies. But with the water markers, it's a lot easier. And then you can colour your little butterflies in, even on the secondary. I'll do the little ladybird. I'm glad I used that grey green because I forgot, because I don't have a black, and I think I've used it before. There you are. And even this, I mean, you can colour it in. There, you can see the red now. It's coming out now. I've put a bit of water on it, so it's like a red black. And then you can just swirl it into the heart. And just lightly colour your heart in. That's if you want it coloured in. If you don't want it coloured in, then don't. And that makes that look very gothic now. So if you're doing a gothic journal, you know to use the black water marker with a bit of red, and then just swirl it in. So I'm waffling now, but I'm glad I showed you that. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.